Hey, I guess I'm recording now. It's Mini Ninja Love here, checking in with everybody. And I have a very tough request. It's very tough on me to ask for help and favors because since I was a little thing, anytime I asked for help, it always seemed like that got me in trouble and targeted for more cruelty. So it's really kind of been a tough thing. And then I guess the last biggest cruelty in my life would be, I had one sane person in the lunatic family I was grown up in. It's a grandmother, and she was taken from me the day before I would turn 21. And then since then I hadn't had anybody I could trust until I finally met someone who gave a shit about what was happening, not just to me, but people around this planet. It's not okay. And I became friends with this person, and for the first time in my life felt like what a friend would have felt like to have a friend. And then as soon as that happened, they snatched it away, because that's what they do, these cruel motherfuckers. So Julian Assange is in prison. I'm in a sort of prison over here, fighting for my kids. Not just my kids, everyone's kids. And I'm about to, I don't know what to do. I'm running out of resources. I don't have family like most people have. I don't have anywhere to go. And I'm tapped out financially. I have happily liquidated and sold everything I have in order to fight for Julian Assange's freedom, what happens to be my freedom and all of your freedom. I understood early on how important this case is. And so they took my one fucking friend away, the one person that was loyal to me and I could trust. And they won't let me see him, and they won't let him see me or talk to me. This is really cruel. So when I say I'm tapped out, it means I'm tapped out. The last man that I worked for, made a paycheck from, sexually, physically, verbally, and mentally assaulted me in public on Valentine's weekend on a kids' hockey trip. I was married at the time. Nobody thought to call the police. I was also drugged by these people that night. And then told I should shut the fuck up about it. This guy was my employer. He was a friend of the family, supposedly, more my husband, because his sons played hockey with my son. And he's a lawyer. And after he assaulted me, he sent me a letter from his law firm threatening to sue me if I didn't shut the fuck up. It gets more insidious when you know exactly what he was saying to me when he was assaulting me, but I'm not going to go into details here about that. Just want to say that this person is free. And my best friend, Julian, is locked up, having committed no crime. We live in a fucked up society. This isn't okay. It's not okay that I'm looking at homelessness. My kids are being abused with privilege and perversions. They're taught not to care what's happened to me. That attorney from his law firm sent me a threatening letter, so that they were going to sue me for stalking them after they did this to me. And my husband at the time agreed with them. He wanted me to shut the fuck up. So I divorced the son of a bitch. Happily. But now he's got my kids. Yay him. But not really, right? Because my kids are losing. It's not about me. It's not about my fucking feelings. It's about my kids and what's best for them. I have a court case next month, the beginning of June. And they're trying to call me an unfit mother by saying I have a undiagnosed mental health condition. I have thoughts of grandeur. I'm about to go homeless, you guys, for defending people's human rights. It's what I've been doing these past 5 years, because I didn't have any. It's the only thing I could think to do was to help people who were struggling too. I don't know where I'm left off, but it's thoughts of grandeur, and recently an alcoholic. I've been a professional drinker for a long, long time. I was bartending when I was 19 years old, not an alcoholic. In fact, I haven't had problems with addiction. That's not something that I've ever had. I don't know, it's never really attached to me, other than I've experimented with things, but other than weed, marijuana, I would probably smoke quite often. It helps me though with whatever undiagnosed mental health issues I have. So I would partake in that safely and healthy wise. Alright, so I'm rambling on. So yeah, I'm gonna have to call on some of you guys to help me get through the month and figure out how I can get some income created. It's hard to explain to people what I do for a living, because there's a lot of underground work involved. And I know some of you out there know of some of my work and what I've been involved in, and some of you may not. But please share this if you don't have any monetary means to help me in my situation. And this, you guys, this is important to Julian too. I'm important to Julian as he is important to me. I miss him and I love him very much, and I don't understand how this can be continuing to go on over a decade now. Enough is fucking enough. You've tortured us. It's time to stop. It's time to stop. Give the man his freedom. Give me my freedom. Let my friend go. Let us heal all of us whistleblowers that have been tortured and harassed and stalked and ghosted and ridiculed. Let us go heal. When I sat in that gallery back in February watching my friend being persecuted in this circus trial, and I wasn't really paying attention. I knew everybody else's job there was to jot down every precise detail on what was going or what was being said in the court. That wasn't what I did. What I concentrating on was all the players around the situation, and I focused intently on Julian. And we have some pretty unique communication skills, and well, there's two ends of this. There's a couple of very amusing parts to being able to communicate from him through bulletproof glass. The gallery was hung suspended about 12 feet above where Julian was placed in his lock cage, and there was some funny moments, but there was also a moment where, and I don't know why, but I was in the gallery. We'd probably just come back from break or something, and I was just sitting there, and nobody else was in the courtroom or the gallery. It was just me, and then the acting chief editor of WikiLeaks, Christian, came in and sat down. And I was choking back tears as he walked in, because I was feeling the humiliation. And not just for Julian and his situation, but for what the prison system stands for and what they do to people and how they treat people so inhumane. And then also realizing that Julian had been strip searched several times before even getting to court every day, just to embarrass and humiliate him. He's a remand prisoner. You don't anal search remand prisoners. Come on. Anyway, I sat in that gallery. I was choking back tears. I didn't want to lose it. And I could tell that Christian knew that I was upset. And that it was real. And I shared something with him. And the bottom line is, I'm not in a safe place. I've traveled around this planet. It's not just me that's not in a safe place. I mean, none of us are, but for the moment, I'm trying to suck up my pride and ask for some help. Because it costs more than what I've given to continue to fight for my friend. And I don't think it's fair to ask me to go get a job when the last job I had ended up with the man assaulting me and then turning around accusing me of something ridiculous just to shut me up. And not one person thought to take my side, except for Julian. He was a friend. He believed me when nobody else would. And again, this is at the time when everybody thought he was crazy, because he was telling people he was being watched and spied on 24/7. And it turns out he was. And we discussed how that was happening to me and some others. Fun, fun. Alright, I guess this is 15 minutes of me blabbing on and on. I would also like if anybody could help me with this. The grandmother, the one sane person in my life that was able to form a bond with me and me her. I sent Julian, my friend, an album that she had left me with keepsakes and pictures and poems and stories and old letters that she compiled before she passed. And it was very important to me. It is very important to me. There's a lot of personal notes and messages and cues, and she was very cryptic, and I want those memories back. That's the only possession I have that means anything to me, other than a couple of trinkets that are worthless. But that album means a lot to me, and Julian had that inside the embassy. And I would like to find out where my very personal property, that album that my grandmother left me, is, and whose hands is it in? Is it in the CIA's? Who's got my personal documents? Because there were some very personal documents and information in there. I would like to follow through on that and figure out who has my property. So if someone could help me find out that would be great. Obviously, Julia knows who I am. And if I can't pull this through and get any help to support, then maybe you guys could at least give me some tips on where I go. I mean, where do I take my dogs? What do I pack? I mean, you just take a backpack? Where do you put your stuff? I don't understand what our government expects people to do that don't have family or friends to rely on. And they have pets. Like, what the fuck? You abuse us, treat us like shit, and then, you're all silly, but I gotta figure out something. For a while, I don't know, I guess I was delusional. I figured, like, if I was helping everybody else, eventually, when it came time to me needing a little help, it wouldn't be too difficult to ask. And so I am asking if you can help with any kind of funds or donations, and help me keep fighting for Julian Assange. I know he worries terribly about me, and yeah, I just need some resources. And so any of you out there who are aware of what I do, and it's really hard to even explain, the underground research that I'm really good at, and behind the scenes kind of work in the investigative journalism realm. Okay, it's coming up on 20 minutes. I'm going to end with just a message for Julian. And that is that I admire you. I miss you. I love you. It's not fair that they're torturing you. Everybody else is going home to their daily, regular lives, not worrying about where they're going to live, what country is their home. their children are going to remember them. What's going to happen to the children of this planet when we don't have a inhabitable home for any of us? I mean, they keep locking up the people that want to change shit for the better and hold people accountable. Meanwhile, the lunatics are running free. How long do you think that's gonna work until we just self-destruct, all of us? Yeah. I mean, all right, peace out. I'll put some information on how you can help out any way you can. Even just lending a kind word is nice. Sharing a post. Making a comment maybe about your own experiences is kind of nice. Sharing that stuff. But we gotta keep each other afloat. And I feel like I'm going under, and I just need to ask for some of you guys to reach out. All right, peace out.